Welcome back, baby cakes. Let's get excited for PulseChain. Why is PulseChain different? You have an opportunity here. You're running out of time, but PulseChain was a public sacrifice. The last time we saw something like this was the Ethereum ICO, which did 4,500x from 31 cents, pumped to 1,400, went above and beyond that. If you go to the front page of Coin Market Crap, I will guide you to show you Bitcoin, the Immaculate Conception. Okay, Ethereum, it started it all. All right. Were you here shilling me Binance Coin to get in on their ICO? No, you weren't. What about SexRP? Were you telling me to get in? Nope. What about Cardano? Did you tell me to get in? Nope. What about Matic? Were you helping me get in? Nope. Doge? Nope. Solana? Were you grifting that to me? Nope. I had to go buy them off the open market. What about Polkadot? Only VCs and other scum could get into the ICO for that one, by the way. Were you telling me about these coins early? No, you weren't. So we're all here as a community because we have an opportunity. We understand the game's getting harder. Avalanche, VCs, Uniswap, VCs, everything VCs, 90%. You have to assume these VCs are not here to help you. And it's true. They're actually not here to help us. They're here to dump on us. Okay? So we have an opportunity. You know, it's funny. Now you have Ethereum layer 2s coming. And everyone's talking about them. They weren't publicly done. Ethereum was publicly done. Ethereum was open for everyone. Open canvas. The layer 2s of Ethereum are not. There's insiders. Now, you can interpret that as two different ways. Maybe they made so much money of Ethereum, that's their donation. Maybe. Or maybe there are VCs there who want to make money. Gee, I can't figure it out. You got to put your thinking cap on. So we had an opportunity with PulseChain. Public sacrifice. We're going to go through some juicy details here and why you've got to calm down, but also why it's going to be super bullish if this works out. And I'm going to show you some advantages you have if you just get in early, okay? So I watched this great interview by Mr. Fufu Finance and Johnny Chaos. And Johnny Boo, 2.5 hours, awesome interview. I'm going to give you the juiciest details condensed in a form here, okay? I knew about these, but I thought, wow, all of these in one place. Why haven't I made a video about it? So here we go, okay? So let's go down. You're looking at the HEX price chart. So firstly, if you missed out on PulseChain or PulseX, right? If you just did one of them, I think it's a good idea. This is what I would do, okay? And this is what I have done. I bought more HEX just in case their prices deviate from fair value too much at the start to rotate in. That's what I did. Now, you could leave stable coins on the side. Problem is, I changed this to a regular chart. Look how low this chart is. Look how low it is down here. You see these rounded bottom? Yeah, that's... If you are sitting on the sidelines after seeing a rounded bottom like this, you're playing with too much fire here. It means you've washed out so many people. It's so easy for this thing to go back up, okay? So, but you know, you might say, hey, you don't like the risk, you want to leave in stable coins. The problem with that is, I think the price you're going to get is determined by Ethereum and Bitcoin state. And you don't know where they're going to be when the launch happens. That's the problem, okay? So if you want to take that risk, go ahead. Me, I don't like doing that, okay? So, eHEX and pHEX. So if you bought HEX now and you just held it, self-custody on your wallet, you buy on Uniswap, you're going to have HEX on Ethereum. And then you'll get a snapshot. You're going to have your pHEX. So everyone wants to know, hey, what's it going to be worth, right? I think there's a very high likelihood they're going to have parity. Why? The origin address, he, she, him, her, they, owns a majority of the HEX, I think 85%, and so it's going to get snapshot. Now, he, she, they, it will own 85% of the pHEX. And what they can do on the yield farms, on the DEX, is they can bond their liquidity. You see this little E with the eHEX, with the pHEX? They can bond their liquidity together and can basically connect them at the heart. And so, when one price moves, the other price moves. And they can put so much in the liquidity pool together that nobody can break it. It'll be very, very hard. You know, let's make this 4 links, because 3 wasn't enough. We have to make it 4. Bang. Right? They can put like billions of hex per side. No one's going to be able to chew through any of that. Lock them up. So you think, oh wow, free money. Not so fast. Chill out. Fix your posture, please. Sit up straight. Listen. The founder of HEX, Richard Hart, is also making PulseChain. I know one thing about the guy. He hates weak hands. He hates them so much, he likes seeing them fail first. So, I think there's a good chance this liquidity bonding won't happen at the start. I think instead, he's going to let you swim naked. And he's going to be watching you from the top, and he's going to watch you embarrass yourself, and you're going to be shriveled. So, let's say PulseChain launches. He's going to watch everybody try to be smart and just probably dump their eHEX and focus on the pHEX side, the PulseChain side. I think I'm not going to do this. Right? I don't know the future, but I just think this is the wrong move. Never in my trading, investing career have I heard 90% of people tell me something, and that ends up being correct. I promise you. Never, ever, ever. It's actually quite amazing, right? It's amazing how that works. Self-fulfilling prophecies, they don't really happen in markets, right? So this means if you think you're going to gamble on one side, this and that, you're probably going to make a mistake. And I think after the weak hands are gone, let's say some poopy heads, they sell, let's say, maybe they sell HEX on Ethereum down to like 1 cent. They just completely capitulate because they're like, hey, I got my free snapshot. Now I've got my pHEX, right? I think there's a good chance someone, smart people, they're going to get this to recover. They're going to try to manually match eHEX and pHEX. And then when it's around the same distance, I think there's a good chance the origin address is going to match them with liquidity. And people are going to absolutely lose their mind with disgust and shame that they gave away diamonds for pennies. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's very likely. And he's not going to do this at the start. I don't think he's going to give it to you for free at the start. For you and me, right? All of us. You're going to have to sit and watch. Because there's going to be weak hands. We're just going to get rid of the HEX on Ethereum. Okay? So if you want to play that game, that's on you. Okay? So we're having fun here. I think, yeah, there will be parity, but you just got to wait a bit. I think you're literally going to get a double up. Isn't that going to be juicy? So, now we're going to move on. This is a spear emoji. See this cute little tip? This is a spear. So, if I was to guess how it's kind of work, I think the spear of the whole ecosystem is going to be PLS USDC. So PulseChain liquidity here. This is the link to fiat. That's why I have a spear emoji here. It's a tip of the spear. Okay. So this is going to have thin liquidity. Okay. Let's say it launches today. It just has like 20 million USD liquidity. Okay. Yes, there has to be 2 little droplets of water. Okay. That's going to be the link to, OKX, Binance, whoever lists it. And I think everything else is going to have to go off the ratios with the liquidity bonding. Okay, using the beautiful technology of Uniswap, which we forked for PulseX. Okay. So, most likely, PLS is going to be the spear where all the money, people are going to gamble on the layer 1 chains, right? Everyone loves to gamble on layer 1 chains. So why I think this is going to be is if you go to CoinMarketCap again with me, if we quickly scroll down, you'll notice a common theme, right? So Ethereum layer 1, Binance layer 1, SexRP, it's going to have an XRP ledger, right? So it's not really layer 1 yet. It's just like a useless payment network. Look at this. Layer 1. A layer 1. Dogecoin is, no smart contracts. Look at it. Layer 1. Look at this. Look at this. Are you noticing a pattern, friends? Tron. Avalanche. Look at all these layer 1s. Have you noticed? People want to participate on layer 1s. They want to speculate, ooh, who's going to be the big city? Who's going to win? And if we scroll down, look where Uniswap is. Okay? Look where Uniswap is. It's rank 18. And then it's by itself. You see any other dexes here? No. Nowhere near. It's the only one. So, logically, it probably makes sense. If you're looking at this, you go, okay, the spear should be PLS. The market seems to place value on layer 1 chains for now. Now, I think in the future, this is going to change. I think someone's going to build dApps that are going to kind of hack this stuff, right? But for now, this is the most logical thing to do, right? So that's why I have the tip of the spear here. And I think what's going to happen is the origin address, which owns all the coins, which I'm telling you now is the greatest benefit ever. They're going to liquidity bond this stuff. So you have the first one here. You have PulseX with Pulse. Okay. So which means if the spear moves up, these are going to move up. And here the next one is HEX with Pulse. If the spear moves up, right? If the spear moves down, these are going to move down. You see? They're moving together. You see? Move up together. Because the ratios are going to be set. So it's going to be like, 4 to 1. And you go, okay, that one, is it $1 or is it 50 cents? You go, okay, it's $1. Okay, well, this one was 50 cents. We're moving up in that same ratio. Assuming, obviously, no one big comes in and market smacks it. But if someone owns all the coins, they can just set up walls and help protect the price, which is what you want, which is what we've been saying. This is exactly what you want. It's just like if you told me, oh my God, Satoshi doesn't own 1 million Bitcoin. He owns like 18 million. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going all in. That's exactly what you want to hear. With all these other coins I showed you, there's too many people, friends. There's too many people. Those coins on the coin market crap. You can watch Richard Hart for 3 hours on a stream and go, all right, I can kind of figure this guy out. But you can't go to these other layer 1 chains and go like, who are you going to talk to? They're anonymous addresses. They're like, okay, there's a VC1 and VC2 and this guy's a shark and this guy's a poopy face. You can't. It's so hard to read, man. When you get too decentralized, you need to torpedo your edge here, okay? So we're going to be bonded. It's going to be fantastic. And you also have eHEX 2, right? Your Ethereum hex. So the good thing is they're both going to be bonded. Remember, higher chance that they're going to have parity. So this is going to be such a great benefit. If you believe in the ecosystem, you get in, you just hold, you be patient. And now, Johnny mentioned this other idea, which I really liked, right? And I also thought about it as well. So, all right. I'm stopping this video if there isn't a bridge emoji. Okay, you guys are lucky. You guys are lucky. There's actually a bridge emoji. And, let's make it a bit bigger. Let's make it a bit bigger. There we go. All right. This is a bridge emoji. So, look at this. I think it's most likely that we're going to break the paradigm of crypto here. Okay? We're going to get a lot of people angry, people not in the system. And how they're going to do how Richard's going to do it is he builds a bridge, and because the origin address, he, she, them, right, the religious priest, because they own all the coins and they can set up the wall, they can actually do a 1-for-1 swap between any user who wants to move between Ethereum hex and PulseChain hex. So you won't even need to sell your hex on Ethereum if you wanted to move over. You could just go to this bridge and just swap it. And you'll just get pHEX on the other side, which is the hex on PulseChain. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Now, this would get so many people angry because once I could already see Richard, Eric Wall, and other people on Twitter already making like 15 tweet page threads going like, no, it doesn't work like this. You can't do this. Yes, you can do this. And yes, this is the greatest thing ever because this is going to just break paradigms, man. what Richard's doing is he goes deeper than what people think. People just think, okay, we're making money. Yes, but what he's actually doing is he's revealing that most of crypto investors, speculators, have no clothes. People who say they're in the tech, they're actually not in for the tech. They're here to gamble on logos, tickers, and ideas, just like the stock market. Okay? So you can do this, and the wall's going to be set up, and the market's going to accept it, and it's going to be great. All right? So because they're liquidity bonded, it's going to be 1-to-1, right? When it's done, when we do the trading. And if this bridge gets done, wouldn't that be fantastic? If this actually happens, okay? And you can move between each network, you know? So to add to this, the bonding between them for the PulseX yield farm will probably be very, very, very thick. And obviously, he wants to incentivize people to continuously stake. So it'll probably be so thick, there's really no reason for anyone to just even bother with eHEX, pHEX liquidity playing with the PulseX yield farm, right? Because he wants people to stake and do long term. And he wants to reward people who stake long term and delay gratification, right? So the incentives keep getting pushed towards that way. Okay, so nothing really breaks the paradigm in terms of the fundamental principles of why everything was made in the first place and why we're doing this, okay? So we know, we have an idea of how it's all going to work, right? We have a SPI, PLS, and that's going to drive the whole ecosystem up and down. It's going to have thin liquidity, things with utility. HEX is still going to be the premier store of value. Don't think this means HEX goes down, okay? Absolutely not. Does Bitcoin have a problem because Ethereum exists? Think about that, right? You say, oh, but Ethereum's going to flip it. Yeah, but look how long it's taken, man. Look what Ethereum has to do to flip Bitcoin. Just think about what it's actually been doing and the adoption it's been gaining and all the stuff it has to invent. Has to invent DeFi, JPEGs, Ponzi's, gaming, metaverse, burning. We have to do all this stuff to get it to flip. Think about how hard it is to actually get it to flip. All right. So, isn't this great? So, as a quick summary on price targets, well, because of the number of holders of PLSX, we started with 150,000 sacrifices. See, it's all about how many people we can get. If you tell me, okay, 1 million PLSX people, right, we'll get 64x, we'll get 49x from day one sack. If you say there's 2 million people, it becomes 200x. That's fair value, by the way. So it can be. So if you tell me, hey, I think we're going to go 2 to 3x above fair value. So then you have 200x to 600x for PLSX. And then for PulseChain, you can do the same thing. Ends up being like even higher multiplier. Could be like 500x to 1000x in the Euphoria. I know it sounds absolutely absurd, but those are the numbers, you know. So it all depends about how many users we get to. The good thing is you can participate now. If you get HEX, you hold. You take that risk though. You take that risk that maybe there's a Bitcoin crash or Ethereum crash. But what if there isn't? What if what happens is all those sideline money are awake, looking at the computer in the 1 minute that you're not there, and then they see that testnet V3 is coming and they just decide to buy HEX to like, 12, 11 cents because they can't get in. That's also the risk that you take. You go to sleep, you have a shower once a week. Maybe that time you're having a shower that once a week, you're washing your hair, and then testnet gets announced on Twitter and you're not there and someone just starts market buying and crushing it upwards because the liquidity is so thin. So, you had all the time to get in before the sacrifice, but this is the risk you take. If you aren't in and you want a DCA, I'm telling you now, that's more risky because you don't know how much time it's going to wait. Remember, crypto keeps gaining people every month. So how long do you want to bet that things are going to keep crashing? Man, it's not a healthy state of mind to just sit there on the sidelines forever. Because look at what you're risking versus the upside here. And for my Hedron baby dolls, so if HEX HEX gets to like 1 million users, stakers. Right now we have 150k, right? So 150k HEX stakers, right? If you say, hey, we get to 1 million, if you tell me, like, you know that number, we get to 1 million, that is 50x price on 4 cents equals $2 HEX, okay? That's what we get to. You know, so a lot of people say, it doesn't work. How do you know? Well, of course we don't know. You're telling me you know exactly how many people adopt this. You get to 1 million people. What if we're wrong? What if it's only 300,000? What if we don't grow at all? What if it's 2 million? Then your mind will explode, right? But just we don't know. We're just guessing, right? Just 1 million, nice one, single digit round number, right? But the Hedron HEX ratio, they have some liquidity bonding too, right? I'm not saying to buy here. This keeps getting minted. But if this, let's say this is actually the floor, all right? I'm not saying to buy it, I'm telling you now. You know me, I don't buy anything minus 60% off. That's not cheap in crypto, all right? Let's say this is the floor, and then HEX does go that 50x. Like, that means we're going to do a 3x on the 50x. That means Hedron does 150x. Isn't that crazy? Okay? Because you're assuming HEX goes to $2 and then this is up here, right? You know, they don't have to, because it is possible that, you know, maybe HEX goes to 50 cents and this explodes, and then HEX goes up to $1 and this goes down. They move in sync. They move out of sync. Very, very, very possible. But just showing you that the whole ecosystem is bullish. There's going to be liquidity bonding. We're going to have PLS as a spear. People are going to come in. They want to speculate on layer 1. There's a lot of positive things going here for us. So the time is now. That's right. You do get excited for it. But what else can you do? I'm asking you to get excited, but not everyone wants to take this risk. I'm just telling you now, man. Like, oh man, we use log charts a lot, but I'm just, look at all this. Look at this chart. Okay, linear charts, you can really like exaggerate how far away from the top you are. Like, this is just, it's as rounded bottom as you get. A little peachy rounded bottom. There is a peach emoji here for us. Like, this is, you know, what else could you ask for? We have the ecosystem launching. PulseChain's going to be a price catalyst. You're going to have PulseX with the buy and burn. Okay? So, the buy and burn will start off slow. It's, I think, $65 million. So, if PulseX matches PancakeSwap volume today, it's about $65 million of buy and burn. And remember, from my liquidity pairs, PLSX is going to be bonded to everything. So the exchange, the DEX exchange, all the activity is dragging up the price slowly of everything bonded with it. So PLS is going to rise up with it a bit. HEX is going to rise up with it a bit. That's if it matches PancakeSwap. If we match Uniswap, so if we match PancakeSwap, 65 million yearly buy and burn, okay, for PLSX. But if we get to Uniswap, now a lot of people say, whoa, we're never going to get to Uniswap. But just assume in 3 years, what if Uniswap is 10x more volume than today? What if the total crypto market cap goes from 1 trillion to 10 trillion? And what if Uniswap, you know, 10x is the volume as well? It might even do more, right? Maybe it does 20x because, you know, DEX is of the future. But let's say it just does 10x with it, right? Well, if PancakeSwap is 1/10 of Uniswap. So if we are just getting to PancakeSwap and then Uniswap does a 10x, we are where Uniswap is today. So that is, I think we get 250 million yearly buy and burn, which is absolutely insane, right? I think this 65, it varies depending on the activity. I think when I calculated the real number, it was more like 30 to 35 million, you know? But isn't that great to look forward to? $250 million of buy pressure coming in. Just remember I had that number for you before, 20 million on Pulse, PLS, USDC liquidity. That is absolutely cracker huge. And you're going to have money markets where people can deposit their coins and not have to sell. Plus, you're going to have the leverage exchanges, like Famous and stuff, that they're going to try and incentivize people to come in and like, you know, try get rid of their coins without just whacking market. So it doesn't even matter how all of this plays out. At least you're in. You don't need to actually do anything. You just got to wait. You just got to wait, let the crypto industry grow, and let the bridge get built, let everything come out. We don't have to stress, okay? But you got to remember as well, the hard part, you can't sell now even if you wanted to. The hard part's going to be when HEX goes to, let's go put a log chart. This is going to be the hard part. That most people, this is going to be very stressful, okay? This is going to give you some heart palpitations, right? We're going to have HEX $1, okay? This is going to be stressful, all right? Many people, if HEX gets to $1, you're going to see the emergency end staking. And people are probably going to see minus 50%. Something just absolutely shocking happen. People just emergency end stake, that's it, I'm done, right? People will do something crazy like that. That's probably going to be a shakeout. Because look at this ecosystem. But you're going to have to stay strong. You might even be better off during this 2025 year, just ladder staking yourself, having something coming out every month. So you don't screw yourself up. Or every 3 months. Because I know what everyone's going to be feeling if this happens. Everyone's going to be feeling like it's literally over, you know. So, you watch my videos. I am always thinking about the next trap. What's coming next? I didn't care about what happened in this past now. This depression part, we're pretty much done, okay? I'm already thinking about this. We can't do anything in between. PulseChain's going to launch. It's going to be great. Like, if you've been thinking about setting your PulseChain at 5x, 10x, you're not going to make it, right? The big part is going to be once we have HEX has broken that high. HEX is around $1. You're seeing the emergency end stakes come. Okay, that's going to be the next big challenge, okay? But if you understand now this liquidity bonding, all this information, the advantage I have, that's why I started this video showing you that, man, Matic, Polkadot, all these other VC coins, layer ones, we did not get in. You didn't even have a chance to get in. You got in after they shield them to the influencers on YouTube and they dump on our faces. That's when we have to find out about it. But now you're in from something on the ground floor. Your goal is, you got to imagine yourself, it's 2011. You have like 20,000 Bitcoin, yeah? And Bitcoin hits like, you know, goes up to like $30, right? And then it hits like $100. You're like, oh, I got to get out, right? You got to remember, eventually, you're going to regret losing your position. So your number one goal, you have to be completely convicted in the ecosystem and what's going on. We would not fluke this. Okay, look at everything you've gone through. Look at all, from the ICO raise, of all these other coins, all these VCs get in early. We don't get to get in. You're in from the ground floor on something. So you remember this. It's 2023. My voice will be drowned out by 2025. Okay, if we do get to 1 million people, 2 million people, that's like 8 to 10 times more people. I'm going to be a nobody. I'll literally be a peanut. Okay, and these people as well, when they come in, completely different mindset of thinking. Okay, but you're going to have to understand that you have a big advantage over the average person here. You can't squander it. None of this is a mistake. None of this is a fluke. I'm telling you now. It is so hard to get a coin to go up. Once the ball is in motion and you understand all the mechanics working to help your portfolio stay bid, you better think long and hard before you click that sell button. I love you all, friends. You go and tell your mum that you love her, and I'll see you next time.